quite a stash of the waste canvas.
I'm crushing your head. Hi there. Welcome to the Notorious Needle. I'm Sarah. I'm the designer.
I'm Bridget.
That's my mom.
I'm her mom.
In case you couldn't tell, see the resemblance. On this channel, we talk about cross-stitch. Lots of snarky cross-stitch, some not safe for work. We also like to talk about current events and how those are affecting our stitching.
Mm-hmm.
And we skipped the month of July for Flosstube because we needed a break. I needed a break. I don't know if you needed a break.
No, but
you're on like a perpetual break.
I don't have to do the editing, so I don't need a break. But
yeah,
I did do a lot of stitching.
We've been stitching a lot for us, not so much like models for the store, but more for us, which has been really nice. So I think I'd like to do that again, like take a month off.
But I have a lot, so buckle up.
Okay, yes, we have a lot of updates. So, but first I like to start with some of the comments that you guys left on previous videos. These comments were left on the StitchCon. It was like a Q&A, your first StitchCon, what you need to know. And it turns out that a lot of you found that very helpful. So that was really gratifying. Trish2964 writes, thanks for the comprehensive tutorial on StitchCon. You almost make me have enough nerve to go by myself one year.
Oh, go. You will not regret it. You will not regret it.
Yeah.
And you'll only be by yourself on the plane. Because once you get there, I mean, people are already stitching in the lobby.
Yeah, you're only by yourself for as much as you want to be.
Right.
Laura Woodifield, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. She wrote, wish that my health and wallet would let me attend a retreat in the USA, being that I'm from Canada. Makes it hard to drive. I hear you. I thought your video really made it feel exciting to attend. So that's wonderful, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you. You're about as far away from us as you could possibly be.
Yeah, we're all the way down in South Florida.
All the way at the bottom.
Well, Key West is the bottom, right?
Well, that's true.
So we're not quite. We're like 4 hours north
We're at the bottom
Key
of
West.
the mainland.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the islands.
We're Fort Lauderdale, so it's pretty far down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for us, a drive to StitchCon is 15 hours without stops.
I've been trying to talk her into it. She wants to fly.
Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. No, that's a whole day. That's a whole day.
And when you fly, you waste a whole day too.
Yeah, but you're sitting around. You're not like driving.
Sitting around and driving is...
But I can't cross stitch in a car. It makes me car sick.
I can't cross stitch in the airport either. I have too much stuff to set up. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Royally Rhonda wrote, thank you for all the info. I'm going to Stitch West, my first retreat, so I was taking notes. I'm so glad you ladies had a great time at StitchCon. Thanks, Rhonda. We did, and I'm so glad. I would love to hear how your first retreat went. Stitch West.
Never heard of Stitch West.
We're new to the retreat situation, so
another one.
We're always looking for more. Lynette Wright wrote, this was extremely helpful to someone, me in parentheses, considering a first-time trip next year. Oh, that's great, Lynette.
Do it.
Yeah, there were a lot of little details. So we're both type A personalities, in case you haven't noticed. And the nitty-gritty details bring us joy, but also stress.
A little bit.
Yeah, so we... Selfishly, it wasn't just for you. It was for us so that we could look back on it and be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Like,
right.
And remember like all the little stuff for next year. And it's the little things like everybody talks about the stitching and the camaraderie, which was amazing. Like we have dietary situations going on, so like we need to know where to eat.
Right.
Like food.
And I am not fun when I am hungry.
No, neither am I.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a bad combination.
Right.
When we both get hangry, it's not pretty. And Diary of a Physicist, Farm Gal wrote, I'm glad I'm not the only one who takes my own lanyard, LOL. Because Mom took her B lanyard instead of using the standard one that they give you at StitchCon.
Right.
Which was fun.
I do.
It was fun.
I take that just about everywhere.
I used to have a Disney one, but I think I got rid of it. It was full of like the Disney pins. I don't know if you guys knew you could like trade pins at Disney. They still do that, but I don't. Okay, So thank you for your lovely comments. We love reading them. We love responding to them. Keep them coming. And now let's talk about Stitchy Stuff.
Stitchy Stuff. Okay.
So Stitchy Stuff is, we talk about like newly acquired Stitchy Stuff. So
is that
gifts
what we're starting
or purchases.
with?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, you want me to do the Stitchy Stuff?
Go for it.
Okay, so I bought a ton of patterns actually, which was ridiculous. Let me, because I'm not gonna stitch them all. But we've been in the mood, like I said, to stitch for ourselves. So I bought some patterns to stitch for me. You know what? I think I'm gonna need you to go first because
she's got to find them.
Well, it's not updating in my app. So, oh, there it goes.
You found it?
Yep.
Okay.
So I bought
that one. Yes.
Yeah. Let me get to the project. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this on my phone because we started using the tablet to record on. So here we go. Let me go to page 1. And I bought the Primitive Tarot Notions and Needle Book from Wild Violet Cross Stitch. So this is what that looks like.
It's really cute. So you can see the outside. Outside, it has like 3 little skeletons on it. Why don't you just add a picture here?
It's a little bit focused. So the outside of the needle book is 3 primitive tarot patterns, little skeletons. It is the snipper, the ripper, and the stitcher. So
Cute.
One skeleton is holding scissors, one is holding a
seam ripper,
and the other one's holding a needle.
Right.
And then when you open it, you've got a place for your scissors, a needle thread, or if you need one, a little pocket for additional things. 3 little pockets for other things. And then you have space for floss, and then the floss goes under this. Under all of this is another pocket. It was really cute, and I've been eyeing it for a while. I like the primitive tarot skeleton guys, so I picked it up. I started stitching it, and I'll show you that later.
It's adorable.
I also picked up from let's see, it's called. It's called, the Etsy shop is The Stitch Patterns, and I picked up their mega bundle. It was like $30.
Uh-oh. How many patterns is that?
I don't know, like 1,000 or something.
Are you
crazy.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, they're not all to my taste, but I've been eyeing a bunch of patterns. Let me show you 1 or 2 of them. I've been eyeing a bunch of patterns for a while now. Poop. I can't find the ones I want, but let me find you. This is a geometric bunny tail pattern. It's called bunny tail, I think. Can I zoom in without showing you the pattern?
It's not going to let you.
Yeah, it's not.
Nope.
There we go.
Oh, there.
So that's one. It's supposed to be a geometric bunny.
Oh, I get you. The tail's in the bottom middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bunny's facing away from you.
Away from you.
It wasn't evident to me at first glance.
Let me show you. You might like some of the Christmas ones.
Maybe.
Mini Christmas. Come
Aww.
on. Let me zoom in. There we go.
Is that a little
Here's
Santa sleigh?
It's a tiny little
That would
sleigh.
make a nice ornament.
Yeah.
Oh, and wait till you see all the ornaments.
Mom went a little crazy. So I went crazy buying patterns, but she actually went crazy stitching stuff.
them. And not just stitching them, but I finished them. So I'm quite proud. Just
so
saying.
I bought it actually for some of these little landscapes that I found.
Cute.
Like that would be like a really quick soothing stitch.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would enjoy it.
Netflix
And they have
stitching.
They have a bunch, like they're bigger. They have bigger ones that are round in a
6-inch hoop.
Yeah. Oh, they also have the stitch. What is it called? The stitch pattern. The stitch patterns on Etsy, all one word. The stitch patterns. They're actually famous for the mini art. Like they take well-known art like the Mona Lisa and Van Goghs, and they make them into teeny tiny patterns.
That sounds cute.
Yeah, but I can't find them here. So when she talks about her stitchy stuff, I'll try and find some of those.
Okay.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that's the mega offer. And I don't have it here.
Okay.
You had one, so I guess I didn't have to get up and get it. But I made these little matchbook needle books. So this is what it looks like. This is just a scrapbooking paper. And then you open it up like a matchbook, and there's a piece of felt inside, and you can put your needles on it. So,
or orts, or whatever.
You could put orts, yeah. And if it's bigger, you could do beads, I guess, because the beads won't roll around on the felt.
Mm-hmm.
But so someone at StitchCon made one for everybody. It was a little bit bigger, and I really liked it, and I used it. I was using it every day, and now I can't find it. So I made some for myself. Maybe I'll do like a little tutorial on how to make these.
That'll be cute
because it's super fast.
Super easy.
Really easy. All you need is scrapbook paper, some felt, and a stapler.
Right, and you want to make it out of like a cardstock or scrapbook paper, because if you make it out of copy paper, it's just going to fall apart.
Yeah.
It needs to be a little sturdier.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll do a little tutorial. So I made a bunch of these so I don't like to keep my needles on the needle minder when I put my project away, and I've been kitting up my projects more and putting them away instead of keeping them all together in like one big bag. I've been keeping them separate because I've been flitting around between projects a lot, and I decided that I wanted to have something to put my needle in, not my fabric, because my needles get like rusty.
Or you poke holes in the fabric.
Yeah, or you make bigger holes in the fabric.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to have someplace, and I don't like keeping it on the needle minder because if it
rolls off,
it could fall off. I mean, I know it's magnet, right? But it still rubs off. Like you could rub it off, moving stuff around inside the bag. Excuse me. Or it'll poke through the bag, depending on the type of bag. So I wanted something to keep them in, and I also like to keep 2 needles, a big one and a small one. So the big one is a size 24, and then the small one I think is size 26.
Yeah.
I like to have 2 different sizes because I like to, I don't know, I switch them around depending on what I'm doing. Anyways. Oh, and the other thing I got, which I finally got in, the big Wonder Clips. These are fabulous. So these, they're featured on, I forget the name of it. Anyway, they call them Wonder Clips. They do a lot. I got these on Etsy. I'm crushing your head.
They do more than just that.
So I'm a stitch and hand stitcher, and the fabric gets in the way. So I use these to roll up, and then I clip my fabric.
Like this.
Yeah, it keeps it out of the way. The little ones are great for smaller projects, and then when you have a lot of fabric and it's a bigger project and you still kind of want to stitch it in hand, or if you stitch it on a hoop, but it's not a Q-snap, these are really great for that too.
Yep, they can roll. You can roll up the fabric, and
and I've been using these instead of the small ones for the bigger projects. So these finally came in, yay! And I use them all the time. Okay, I'm having too much fun with those. I also got DMC soluble canvas. So
the soluble.
Yes, I picked up the soluble. I couldn't find it in the stores.
It's a 14
so I got
count.
it on Etsy. This is 14 count.
Okay.
I haven't seen any other count. I looked at I couldn't find it on everything cross stitch or 1, 2, 3 stitch. I can only find it on Amazon.
I have not found the soluble.
Yes.
I have quite a stash of the waste canvas, which isn't soluble, but you do wet it and then you pull the threads
out from under the
so
stitching.
I guess that means that there's going to be a tutorial at some point in the future.
Don't hold your breath. But at for sure, yeah. Because,
it's on the list.
I mean, I've never done it before, yeah. And I also got a T-shirt to stitch on.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it. Any ideas would be welcome. Let me know what you think I should stitch on this T-shirt. This is 8 by 8.5, 14 count, water-soluble canvas, so nothing bigger than that. Actually, it would have to be quite a bit smaller because you got to leave room for basting. And then this is just cotton. I think I'm going to pre-wash it so it shrinks.
Pre-wash the cotton is better.
Yeah. And I'm only going to use Color Fast floss. Mm-hmm. So that, because it's a T-shirt, it's going to go in the wash a lot.
Now, speaking of T-shirts, this is cross-stitched.
Yes.
And this is little bees and little flowers. and this one was done with waste canvas.
Waste canvas.
And we're gonna do the waste canvas together. I'm gonna use the kind I have, which is
you have the waste canvas,
the regular waste canvas.
and then this is the
she's gonna
soluble
use the soluble,
canvas.
and then we can compare the two.
Yeah.
And I also have a gray T-shirt, and I have my pattern. It's bees.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
Well, are you stitching it for you? Do you want me to like?
I'm stitching it for me. The shirt fits me.
What pattern is it? Is it a big one?
It's bees. I don't know.
Is it the mandala? No, that's the mandala.
No, this is the mandala. I have another pattern that's similar to this.
Show me one.
I don't know. It may be 6 by 6. It may be 8 by 8. I don't know.
You don't have it with you?
It's in here, but I have this.
Okay.
I have this
All
for
right.
something else.
All right. So I don't know what I'm gonna stitch yet. Bees, maybe a butterfly. I might stitch a butterfly.
It could be in here. If you want me to look it up, I can look it up.
So yeah. So we're gonna experiment. I'll show you how it comes out. I'll take you along with me as I do it, so you can see if it's hard or easy or.
This is the bee pattern.
Oh.
It's called the Bumblebee Block Party.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. So that's like a mandala
It's cute.
pattern.
It is. It is. And that's the kind of pattern that really works well on a T-shirt because you can center it right here. You know, I have other T-shirts that, you know, the pattern goes up and down.
Okay.
And depending on how well endowed you are is how well that works out. Well,
So,
yeah, you
I'm
could
good.
get away
I'm good
with
with a
other,
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could get away with other things.
So I think that brings an end. So this is not a Stitchy Stuff necessarily, but it's stitch related because I have a new stitch partner, and his name is Mud, and I'll put a picture here. Basically, we needed an emotional support dog for our anxious dog.
Yeah.
So we got another pet, but Mud is my responsibility to train. We're working on it. He came from a friend. He's about the same age as Daisy. He's like 2 years old. He's so sweet. He looks big and scary. He's almost 80 pounds.
He's big.
He's big.
He's not
big.
scary.
And he needs his nails clipped.
Yeah.
Because he still jumps on people. We're working on that. But he has learned stay. He's leave it. He's not so great at leave it, but he's learning leave it. Like this is for his safety. And sit. He mostly knows sit, but we have to reinforce it some more.
You have to work on get down too, because he jumps on me.
No, we're just going to work on not jumping in the first place.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Yeah. No, I have some strategies.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, so he's my new Stitchy buddy.
Cool.
So what Stitchy Stuff do you got, Mom?
All right. Well, after we went to StitchCon, and we talked so much about the lights that everybody had,
yeah.
so this is it. This is the amazing foldable OttLight, which you can find on Amazon, and it folds up, and it does this, and then that's bright. That's not so bright. I usually put it on this. So if you have it on this setting, it'll go, I think, about 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
And if you have it on the super bright setting, it goes about 4 hours.
Okay.
But then you'll see it has like little dots, little lights. Oh, you can't see the lights here. Hang on. It has little lights here.
Yeah, you
so
can't see them.
It's rechargeable. And when I first talked about this,
is that
I
like
thought,
the battery light?
Yeah.
Now you can see it.
When I first talked about it, did it
right
go off?
Here. Yeah, but they light up blue. They light up.
So there's 3 lights, and when it's all 3 are lit, you can tell it's fully charged. And as the lights
really
go
cool.
down, it tells you when to charge it. It also has a little flap in the top, and ta-da, there's your magnifying glass. And it has a little part here that's super magnifying if you need it, but it's only about 3/4 of an inch. So it doesn't take up the whole thing. And it's very easy because it tilts forward.
Yes.
So it rests here. You can tilt it forward so you can have it in front of you on the table, and you can have the stuff in your lap, and you can be looking at it underneath.
And it's
here.
weighted.
Yeah,
the base is weighted so it doesn't
it's
fall
not gonna
over
fall
when
over.
you have it tilted over, which
See,
is really nice.
It just stays there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because it's rechargeable, when we go to the late night stitchy room, I won't need a battery operated stitch light. But I still have my little battery operated OttLight.
Okay.
And I think I'm just going to keep that one in the camper.
Okay.
And then I don't have to pack. The only thing that it doesn't have is it doesn't have a case.
Doesn't have a case.
No.
But there was a lady at StitchCon who said she bought a knitting needle case and it fit perfectly in that.
Well, I have a knitting needle case and it doesn't.
Okay.
So if you're going to buy a knitting needle case for it, I would take it with you to the store because the one I have is like that much too short.
Thin. I keep thinking they'll be like too thin to
No, it fit in this way, but I couldn't
Okay.
zip it because this bottom part was just a little bit too tall for the case I
Okay.
have. So what I just have it in a black reusable shopping bag.
Okay.
You know, but I'd rather have a case to protect
Yeah,
it.
I think I would put it in a hard case, and then you
yeah.
could put the charger with it too.
I have the
charging
charger.
cord.
Yep, I have the charger with it.
Very nice.
So that's
Thank you for
number
sharing.
one, and
Yes.
I have to tell you, I love it.
You know, I bought an El Cheapo version. You can see it right there, maybe. If I haven't cropped it out, and I'm not as happy with it as that one.
Nope. When I saw that, like,
But I don't use it
3
as much
people
as
at
you
every table had this light,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it must be really good if that many people are using it.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and bought one, and I wasn't upset. I wasn't.
Very nice.
So the other thing I got was something I saw on one of the other floss tubes. I want to say the shunt.
Careful
No,
with your microphone.
I think I got this before I saw it on Sunshine Stitchers, but I may have seen it on Sunshine Stitchers first.
Okay.
Anyway, it's called a Nurge.
Nurge, N-E-R-G-E.
No, N-U-R-G-E.
N-U-R-G-E.
N-U-R-G-E. Yeah, Amazon. What can I tell you? However, the reason I got this one is I always use the wooden hoops. And, you know, I had to move the hoop a lot in one of my projects where I was working across and I kept having to move the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually hurt my thumb because of the
no.
screw. And it doesn't have, it didn't have like a thing so you could put a little screwdriver in there.
Okay.
On mine,
There was no screw head.
there was no screw head. But the Nurge, this screw is this big plastic. It's a lot easier to turn. And the way that this sits, because it's got a, I don't know if you can see inside.
It's got like a groove.
It's got a groove. So when you put it, when your fabric goes in, this has a groove, that has a groove, and it seems to work better.
It grips it really well.
I really like it. Now, it's easy to just tug the fabric and tighten.
Oh.
Tug a little bit and tighten.
Okay.
It doesn't hold the fabric so tight that that it leaves marks. So if you like your fabric like super tight, like a drum head,
I mean, it'll still leave a mark, but
it hasn't.
not at all.
Not at all. And this is the first time I've taken it off in a while.
Because textiles have like memory.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not, maybe because it's plastic and it's wide, but it's about the same size as a hoop.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could just be my experience, and maybe it's just the fabric that I'm using. But anyways, I really like it. And on my Amazon wish list, I have all the other sizes.
I saw, yeah.
Because they're not cheap. Let me tell you what. For the price you pay for one of these, you can probably buy 3 or 4 hoops
Oh, wow.
of the wooden ones on
Yeah,
Amazon.
yeah.
And I know the wooden ones last for years and years. And if they split, my husband knows how to glue them.
Oh.
But I think I like these better. So I may just use all the hoops up and put washi
Use them
tape
as-
around them and
okay.
use them as frames and
Yeah.
frame stuff with them
Yeah.
and just save this for my working. Now, I always have fabric, and because it's been 2 months, I have 2 months worth of fabric. So this is 16 count Ada from Bestitch Me, and it's called Willow.
Oh, that's a nice taupey neutral.
I know,
And it's showing
right?
up true to color on the camera, so that is the true color.
And I love Bestitch Me's fat quarters because
Yes.
you can definitely get two
Decently sized projects.
projects
Are you
out
trying
of
to fold
this.
it the same way?
I was, and now I can't.
You gotta fold it long ways. There you go.
Okay, yep, it's me. I will get it. Okay, so that's Willow.
That's nice.
It is pretty. And then this one I love, it's called Morning Fog. Also
Oh, that's
16
nice.
count, also bought from Bestitch Me.
I just love the sky blues.
I know.
Now, it's a little bit more teal in real life, and in the camera it's showing up a little bit like
It's showing up a
royal
little more gray
blue.
than blue.
Yeah.
So it's actually more of a sky blue.
Yeah.
But it is super pretty. Why do
It
I
is
always
really
want to fold
pretty.
it the wrong way?
I don't know.
I don't know, it's me. But yeah, so that's definitely,
That's really nice.
those are cool.
Yeah.
And then other new Stitchy stuff. Well, no, I'll start with this one because this one
Okay.
goes right into finishes, but I'll just
You
show
can take
this.
it right into finishes.
Okay.
I don't have any finishes.
So this is called the Autonomy Scarf. And
Oops.
what am I doing? I'm not doing
You're
anything.
touching buttons.
I guess I was. So this is called the Autonomy Scarf, and I had it so you could see it. It has a nice lacy pattern in it. And Deborah from Diary of a Physicist Farm Girl was talking about this in one of her floss tubes, that she was starting it August 1st for Autonomy August. And the designer, Rosemary Hill, says, inspired by the green bandanas and handkerchiefs I've seen throughout the world at abortion access protests starting almost 20 years ago in Argentina, the Autonomy cowl pattern was designed to help raise funds for groups making full reproductive health care more available to all. So if you'd like to join us in making it, it's by Rosemary Hill, and you can find it on Ravelry, you can find it online. And to be honest, it was a really quick stitch. I finished mine in about 4 hours. And I chose this green because it was this really pretty neon green. It's super soft, and I like the way it lays. I'm trying to remember what they call that, the drape. So I like the drape. I'm not sure if I'm going to wear it as a scarf. You can also wear it as a bandana.
Do you remember what the name of the thread was, the yarn?
Good grief, you want everything? No. I'll probably wear it like this more often because it's just kind of cute, and you can see the pattern when I wear it this way.
Yeah, you can see it.
And it's just, Florida, it's just too damn hot to wear
around
a
your
cowl
neck.
around your neck.
Yeah.
Maybe February. But I wanted to buy the pattern, and I wanted to show some support. The donations are going to, like she said, funds for groups making reproductive health care more available. And I'm all about that. Mm-hmm. So that was my little Autonomy scarf. If you watched the last Flosstube, which should have already been edited and
it will have posted,
uploaded before this one.
I got behind, but we're caught up now.
Yeah. I was talking about my Santas, and you can insert a picture here of the Santas all across. I bought all the patterns.
All laid out. Was it like 11 of them?
Are
they Sue Hillis?
There is actually 10 because I bought one twice.
Oh, okay.
I goofed.
So there's 10.
I thought there's actually a dozen. 2 of them I didn't care for.
Okay.
So I bought the 10 I liked, and I ended up getting an extra because I thought it was a different one on eBay, and it was the same one. So my goof is your gain. And do you want to talk about that now? Yeah. Okay. So I have the Santa patterns. I have them all here.
Did you show them in the last one?
No, but you know what? I'll just take the back of this and show it because they're all on here.
Here, I'll hold it while you talk.
Yeah. So down a little bit.
Well, I want to zoom in.
Okay. These are all the Santas. Now I picked 10 of these. I didn't pick the Patriot Santa, and because Santa is not American. I'm sorry. Maybe this particular version was created by Coca-Cola in the 1950s, but Santa is a worldwide
That's this
thing.
one, right? This is the Patriot
right.
Santa.
And then the Ark Santa I didn't pick because the Ark is a theological mythology specific to a certain religion, which I'm not, and Santa isn't specific to a certain religion either. So I only took the 10 I liked. Screw you guys, I'm going home, you know, as Cartman would say.
Right.
So anyways, I'll
they're
put those all together.
They're all Sue Hillis designs.
Yes. And I found them all on 123stitch.com, so I'll say that much. Now, the one I got extra is the Gingerbread Santa, and it has the charms with it. And this one, because I goofed, I am gifting it to the Flosstube as a giveaway.
Yay!
So if you would like to stitch this Santa, this pattern will be mailed to you along with the little charms. It's all brand new, still in the sheet. So you have to put something in the comments. She'll give you the deets.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to run these things.
First, you need to fill out the Google form so that I have your address and we're not trading emails for a month trying to get it to you. I could just mail it right away, right? And the link is in the description box below for the Google form. Second, please be a subscriber. You need to be over 18, and you need to understand that YouTube is not affiliated with this at all. All the small print for those types of things. Use the word Santa in a comment below. Do not use the word giveaway or freebie or gift or anything like that. just Santa, because it's only for people who have actually watched the video. So if everyone starts talking about a giveaway, some Joe Schmo is going to be like, make a comment and they could win. Santa, S-A-N-T-A. Spell it correctly. I will be using the YouTube random comment picker to pick the comment. So if it's not spelled correctly, I won't be able to find it.
Yeah, like if you put in Satan instead of Santa.
You know, that happened. When I type my name, I do that too sometimes. Instead of Sarah, I'll type Satan.
Really?
No, not really. And Santa can be yours. This is the first annual Santa, I guess is what she's calling it.
Right, this was the first one. It was the gingerbread Santa.
That's not what it's called, though.
It is. It's called the gingerbread Santa.
Oh. And
right on
is
the
this
front.
included, this little pattern on the back? Or this one?
No, they don't include any other patterns. It's just that one.
Oh, well, they're selling you more patterns.
Right,
on the
you
back.
have the ability to buy more
There's
if you
that one,
want,
and then
but
there's that one.
But the only one that comes in it is the gingerbread Santa right here.
And you will get the charms as well. They will be included.
Yes.
And then just as a note, this one has been written on. It says $8. So this one
I didn't write on it.
Is used.
It came that way.
It's lightly used. But it's free. It has no monetary value, and if it gets lost in the mail, we're not going to be able to replace it.
So make sure you put your correct address in there.
Yes.
Don't get dyslexic with the numbers or something, because you know.
Yay! Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. So that's the Santa. Let's see, I went through the fabrics, I went through the Santa, I went through the Nurge, I went through the light, and I believe that's it for my...
Yay, Stitchy Stuff.
No, it's not. I had
It's
scissors.
not it for
Nah, don't worry about it.
Scissors?
Forget the scissors.
Oh, all right.
It's okay.
I guess we'll do them next time.
Yeah, maybe not.
So, after Stitchy Stuff, we have new starts.
New starts. I have plans for a new start.
Okay, I have some new starts.
So you go with your new starts.
I have 2 new starts. I should have... You guys, I need to do this ahead of time, because okay, so my first new start is the video game sampler by Screaming Heart Designs. Let me show you a picture of that here. There we go. That is what that looks like. It's hilarious. Not safe for work, by the way.
Right, because there's an F word right in the middle of it. Several.
There's
X
a bunch. I
Yes.
love it. Piece of shit fucking game. Fuck. Yeah. I'm thinking of adding, so you see this F-bomb down here next to Pac-Man? I am thinking of adding a couple extra U's, so it kind of reads like, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't decided yet.
Because we've heard that too.
I like the Pac-Man pebbles too. Oh, yeah. Man, especially my younger son. Oh, my God. That kid plays video games. Whew. All right.
So let's see what it looks like.
Oh, I also wanted to bring up the notes because I am stitching this on 16 count Black Ada by Swigart in the called for colors. This is all I have so far. Of course, I had to do all the curse words first. Wait, it's upside down. Damn it. There we go. That's all I have. This is a Zelda needle minder that my husband made for me from a pin. He made 2. This is the prototype that he got glue all over, so it's not pretty and shiny, so I kept it. And then the second one was went with the Smalls gift exchange at StitchCon. And then my other new start is is the Primitive Tarot. I showed that to you, the Primitive Tarot needle book.
Right.
And I am stitching it on Stitch Me. Oh no, this is Fortnite Fabrics. And this is called Bankroll. This is 36 count opalescent even weave. This is not linen. I think this is an even weave, and it's called Bankroll.
So you started with the snipper?
I started with the snipper.
That looks cute.
Yeah.
I love it on that fabric.
Yeah.
It's going to really pop on that fabric.
It is. And I went with just black. This is just DMC 310. I was going to do E310, which is the light effects, and I started stitching it, but the light effects is a pain in the ass, and it wasn't enough of a shine or a shimmer. The fabric is already shimmery.
Right,
so
too much.
You couldn't you couldn't see. It was lost. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
if I'm going to go through the bullshit of stitching with DMC light effects, which, whew, not my favorite.
You might want the effect to show.
Yeah, it needs to show up. So it didn't. So I decided to just use the plain 310. So that's what this is.
And although I don't think you can have too much bling, I think in this case, it would detract from the fabric.
I don't think so, but you can't.
No,
you couldn't
I like
even
it.
see it really.
Yeah.
Because the fabric is all like your eyes go to the fabric. Your eyes.
I have to say I like it better than I did in the picture.
This is a quick stitch. Oh yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I might
cute.
stitch this one with you.
Oh yeah.
Or after you.
Okay.
Depends. But I like that one better.
So there's a couple of different layers. So this is going to be the outside of the needle book. Oh, and then this is my basic witch needle minder that my best friend gave me for Halloween. I think that was just on Amazon. So this is the outside fabric, and then the inside fabric. This is another Fortnite fabric. This is called VIP. These were the part of the 2021 Fabric of the Month Club at Fortnite Fabrics. And this is called VIP. This is also a, I'm sorry, did I say 36? This is 32 count.
32.
32
okay.
count even weave. I'm stitching 2/1. Or 2/2, and this is also opalescent. It's really blue.
It is
it's
pretty.
Really pretty, like peachy cream color.
But you could do the inside and outside with that one piece.
No, I did
couldn't
not
you?
have enough.
You don't have enough.
So no, I
Oh.
stitched it in the corner, so maybe I do have enough, and then I'll just do the pockets with this.
Oh, okay.
But you need the inside, the outside, and you
And
need fabric for the pockets.
Right.
And I need to find some kind of pretty black lace to do where it holds the needle.
Where the needles are, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be
here.
What do you call it? Not just lace, but stretchy.
Oh, like an elastic lace?
Yeah, you
So
know,
that part there.
you know what it reminds me of? A garter. So if you find a garter belt for sale, you could cut a piece of the garter out because it'll have the elastic and the lace.
Or I could just find a piece of stretchy lace.
You could
so
try.
that's one new start.
Yep.
So that's two new starts. The Screaming Heart Designs and the Primitive Tarot needle book. For goodness sakes.
It's in there somewhere.
For goodness sakes.
It's in there somewhere.
All right.
Okay.
So those are my new starts.
Okay. So I have a start. It's a start, a whip, and a finish all in one.
So I think we're calling that SAF, start and finish. It's a SAF.
Okay, well, when I showed you the Santas, right?
Yay.
So my idea was to make a table runner that goes the whole length of my table.
With 10 Santas.
With 10 Santas.
And,
I have,
and they each come with a charm, right?
well, you know
or
what?
Some of them don't.
Some of them, I think 6 of them have a charm and 4 don't, but I should be able to buy charms for the 4 that don't.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and show that picture.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if they'll see it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna put it over. I'm gonna
Okay.
insert it in the video because.
So I
you
spent
can't
a
see
lot
it
of
on
time getting the order of the Santas across, making sure the hats went in different directions, not putting 2 things together that were too
And
similar.
some are in like green and some are in red.
Yeah, yada yada, all that. So,
So
I started the cookie Santa, which is this one right here, and now I'm on the stocking Santa over here. So this is the one I had started, and I finished the cookie Santa, and now I'm working on the stocking Santa, and that's next to it. And as you can see, they're all going to be lined up. And this fabric is the 14 count monk's cloth. And I was going crazy trying to find fabric. I was going to every store in,
to find a fabric big enough for like an 8-foot table runner.
Right, and I even looked at table runners, and the thing is, a lot of them were linen, and they weren't. They said they were even weave, but the threads, some were thick, some were thin, and I was like,
linen's not even weave.
And
linen is not the same thing as even weave.
It wasn't going to
Linen is
work.
not even.
Not with my eyesight. So I went, you know what? Let me pull out the 10 yards of monk's cloth I bought 100 years ago to make an outfit out of and never did. And here it is. So it's going to work just fine. I measured it out.
You were going to make an outfit out of that?
Well, for Alafaya, for Riken's Alafaya Rendezvous.
Okay.
And I was like a
survivalist pre-1900 stuff.
Yeah, I had this
It makes more sense.
I had this like skirt and vest thing that I was gonna cross stitch all over, doing like Native American designs and stuff, and then I decided, not my scene. So this is more my scene. Here's all my Santas.
Uh-oh. What's
I
that?
don't know, something.
Oh, your needle minder.
Oh.
Also, you were covering your microphone, so sorry about that.
Uh-oh, and that means if the needle minder went, that the needle did too. Damn it.
Well, then hopefully the needle is still connected to the needle minder.
It's somewhere on the floor. I'll find it later. Okay.
Yikes, hopefully not with our feet.
Hopefully. So that was my start. However, I do have a plan, and I'm going to find it on here because my nephew, Joshua, is getting married in September, and I decided that I was going to make them a wedding sampler. So I found this in, I have to check which magazine it is. It's on disc. And what I'm doing is
that the one we both bought?
Yes.
It's one of the Just Cross Stitch then.
Yes, it's one of the Just Cross Stitch. So I'm going to take the alphabet out because I don't like the alphabet up at the top. So I've made some notes here in my Knit Companion. Take the alphabet out, and then I'm going to do, here, I'll make it bigger so you're not seeing really a lot of the pattern. But I've measured out the lettering, and I'm just going to put the lettering in there that it's their names and their wedding date, and that's going to be their sampler. And it is in, I'll tell you which, it's in, whoops, come on. You know, one of these days I will get this down to a science. It came out of the Just Cross Stitch August 2022. Nope, August 2022 is when I loaded it in here. So that's not right. February 2007.
There you go. February 2007.
February 2007. And I got to talk to you about something to do with the program later.
Okay.
Okay, so that's...
Well, that's plans.
That's plans, right? And I have everything I need to kit it up except the fabric.
Okay.
So I'll get that fabric today.
Any other new starts?
That's it for new starts.
Okay.
I have whips and finishes.
Okay. Oh, well, we did finishes.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Okay. All right, so let's go into whips.
Okay.
I continued stitching on the Elegant Pumpkins by Marie Barber from Just Cross Stitch October 2011 issue. I'm stitching it on Zweigart 36 count Winter Moon Edinburgh linen in the DMC called for colors, most of them. So this is what it looks like. This is Elegant Pumpkins.
Super pretty.
It is really pretty. It's very complicated. There's a lot of confetti. So when last I stitched, I had finished this green pumpkin down here, and now I finished this orange pumpkin up here. So so far I've used all the called for colors except this color here, this red purple color. Instead of the called for DMC, I used a satin, I think it's 154.
Pretty.
Because I had never used the satin before and I wanted it to like stand out. It doesn't.
Oh.
I think that would be better for like bigger chunks.
Probably.
But I'd never tried it before. Yeah, so that's as far as I've got on that. Now this is true linen, so I don't know if you can tell, but like the fibers are not exactly even. Some are thicker, some are thinner, but at the end of the day, it still comes out really pretty.
Yeah. But I also think that the stuff I'm stitching my Santa on is going to wear better.
The monk's cloth, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is not to be
throw
washed.
I can throw this through the wash. It'll have to be washable because anything that goes on the dining room table, it's going to end up getting something on it. Almost guaranteed. So that was another reason for me not going with the very delicate linen because delicate in my house doesn't really go together well.
So the other thing that I'm stitching, I didn't write down the fabric. Darn it.
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, I'm stitching, this is called Yggdrasil. This is it's 2x2 Stitch Art.
Stitch Art.
On Etsy. Let's see.
You had a picture of it.
So this is what it looks like. It's monochrome, but I decided to add colors, and this is what I've stitched so far. So when last you saw, I had only had like this section here done. This is 25 count Lugana by Bestitch Me.
And it's opalescent.
It's opalescent, and I forget what it's called. Darn it. I thought I wrote it down. I apologize. This was part of the Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club, I think, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stitching 1/1 on 25 count.
Because she has that kind of
Because I can.
blind wish.
While I'm not... While I am still visually able to do so. I don't anticipate I'll be able to do that forever. So... And I also continued stitching on. This is how far I got on. This is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, and this is on 25 count Zweigart even weave. This is Lugana. This is Lugana, and this is Ivory. So this is as far as I've gotten. I'm stitching 1/1. This is also a monochrome pattern that I added colors to. I think when I'm done, maybe later I'll share the colorway that I'm using. And so I've changed. I made a couple of changes.
I can see that you've got the bee.
So this bee is different from the actual pattern, and then this skull up here is different from the pattern. But the bee. So this is Pandemic's. This is their 2020 sampler. Oh, and down here I have my Ensign Crusher pin that my husband made into a needle minder for me. This is their Pride pin that whatchamacallit, not Wesley Crusher, the actor's name. No, I custom drawing a blank because I know exactly Will Wheaton, because I adore him. I had a huge crush on him when I was young.
Cool.
Yeah, he wanted to do like an inclusive pin, and I bought it because they sold out. They sell out quickly. That's like the third time he sold them. And then I asked my husband to make it into a needle minder, and he did. Anyway, so this is their 2020 sampler. It's called Pandemic, and 2020 was quite the year. So if you get this pattern and you join their Facebook group, a bunch of folks have kindly shared their modifications. Because 2020 was such a crazy year, a bunch of us decided to add things to it that make it meaningful to us for the year 2020. So this bee is representative of the
murder hornets.
Murder hornets.
Right, that were eating bees.
Yeah, and then the skull is just because of the pandemic, and I thought a skull would be cool and creepy.
It does look both.
Yeah, when it's done, it won't stand out as much because it's got like framing around it and a couple of bunny rabbits on top. But I'm really into this pattern. I'm loving coloring the monochrome and adding in my own colors. It's almost like a cross-stitch coloring book, which is really fun, which is kind of what I'm doing with Yggdrasil too. So Yggdrasil, you have this bright orange. Oh, you can see it too. This bright orange that turns into like a pink orange and then a pink, and then it's going to go into a deeper pink and then purples as I finish. And then this is just each motif has its colors, like the flowers are light pink and dark pink, the borders are dark teal blue and light teal blue, and then the leaves are all green. The flying critters are this deep purple color. I think it's DMC 156 or like 154.
Not 156.
And
that's
then,
later. And
then all the people and the four-legged creatures are this like gray brown and dark brown. And then there's a couple of crowns, and the bee are gold. And then those are just the colors that I'm using. So I'm really enjoying it. But I ran out of this dark teal. It's 3808, and I can't find it anywhere, and I haven't been able to find it for like a month.
Yep.
So when I'm done organizing all of my extra flosses, and there's several that I'm missing, so when I order those, I'm just going to order like 10 skeins of 3808.
You're going to need it.
But that gave me time to work on these other patterns, so that's okay.
There you go.
That's okay. But I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to get back to it. But I'm at a point in the pattern where everything that I stitched next, either I have to count and skip it, or I need to wait for the 3808. And I'd rather wait, because if I count it, I'm going to miscount, and then how far am I going to get before I realize I've messed up?
Yeah.
And then I have to undo it, blah, 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 blah. It's a pain in the butt. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So that's my whips.
So I showed you the Santa.
Yes.
That's one whip.
Okay.
Okay. Now the other whip I have here is my
your
Cleopatra's Ouija board.
Ouija board, yeah. You want me to
which
hold this side?
I have been working on, And it's by Screaming Heart Designs. It's on 16 count Aida, which is called, it's by Bestitch Me, and it's called Peanut. And I want to tell you how I know all this, because all of the floss cards, the Flosstube floss drop cards that we got at StitchCon, I've decided to use as project cards. So now all my projects that I'm working on, I have stuck this on here, so I know who the designer is, what the fabric count is, who did the fabric, what the name of the fabric is, and the name of the design. Ta-da! I finally got organized. It only took me 40-something years. I'm lying, 60-something years. Anyway, yeah. So I've gotten a lot more done because I just had this part and I didn't have the alphabet. And the alphabet...
It's really pretty, but oh my gosh.
It's 6 different colors.
But you did it so neat on the back. Look.
Well,
Look how neat it is.
Originally
It's
I
so
wasn't
neat.
dragging the colors across. And then like when I got to the M, I went... Good Lord, because you can't see it from the other side.
No, well, you only dragged it across, what, 2 squares?
Oh,
It's
no,
fine.
it's only
It's
dragged
fine.
across
It's
2
fine.
squares.
It's so neat.
But
It looks great, Mom.
it's coming. It's coming
Yeah, and I
along.
like this. I like Peanut. I know you went back and forth a lot about what fabric to stitch this
Yes,
on,
I
but I
did.
feel like this is
really
coming
good.
out.
And I like the way, and the yellow is popping. And I may outline the yellow in like a gold.
You see how the yellow here is outlined in gold? It sticks out more.
Yeah, but I mean, I may outline it in like a gold thread.
Oh, do like a backstitch border.
Yes,
Oh,
a
okay.
backstitch border in like a gold thread, just
deeper,
to make it
deeper gold.
pop a little bit
You know,
more.
I might have the perfect color for that.
But I like it.
Did I get
really
you the
like
DMC Diamond collection?
You did.
There's a color in that collection that would be perfect. So listen. Yes, I tried DMC Light Effects on the Primitive Notions notebook, needlebook. Good gracious, why can't I remember the name of that pattern? The Light Effects sucks. Diamond is better. I should have done that. I should have done the Diamond. I bet that'll look gorgeous.
Oh, see, look at my needles
Your
poking
needle's
through.
still on there.
Yeah, I know. Well, my
That's
other
why I've been putting it on those little needlebook cards that I made.
my other whip that I started is Father's Son.
Wow, you got so far so fast.
I know, right? Hey, well, you know, and that is in the it's patterned by Joan Elliott, and I'll show you what it's going to look like when I'm finished. It's going to look like this when I'm finished.
So
Maybe,
Maybe.
because for some reason it looks really light. And mine looks really
You know,
dark.
I've noticed that all of the finished pictures in that book are washed out a little bit.
You think?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
all a little lighter than they're coming
But
out.
I did him on the blue. It's just
I love it.
It's just blue Aida cloth.
Yeah,
I got it off of
really,
Amazon.
Here, if I hold up some white, this will look blue. So
Yeah, it's a
we go.
sky blue.
no, it looks
Because I wanted the sun to look like he was in the sky.
blue. Yeah,
Made sense to me.
yeah.
And that's my other whip that I've been working on
Wow,
because
he's fabulous.
he is. I love him.
Now there's half stitches in this pattern, and so it's
Quarter
harder
stitches
to do
too,
quarter
yeah.
stitches. It's harder to do quarter stitches on Aida, but you just need a pointy needle and you can do it.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. Now,
Yay, he's so pretty.
the other whip is that. Come on,
Uh-oh,
let go,
uh-oh,
let go, let
uh-oh.
go. Okay, here it is. And I got her ironed, and now I'm going to have to iron her again. And
This is the finish, right?
no, not quite. And
Oh.
not quite because I need to put on the beads.
Oh, the beads. Okay, so
The
this
beads.
is cross stitch finished, but not beading finished.
Right, and
Holy
this is
cow,
this
look
is
how
Mother
pretty
Moon,
She is.
and Mother Moon is
Can
in
you
that
see-
same book,
I'm gonna stand
and
up.
it's
Can you
also
see the sparkle? Holy cow! Look at how that sparkles. Oh my gosh.
it's also by Joan Elliott, and it's also in the same Bewitching cross stitch book.
Wow.
Now I
what's it?
read
What's
the
fabric?
directions.
What's the fabric?
It's just 14 count gray Aida.
Gray. Okay.
Yeah, just regular gray. And I read the
Scratch my
directions,
chair.
which I'm proud of myself because I normally don't. And it says that you have to wash it and iron it before you put the beads on.
Oh, okay.
So I washed it and I ironed it, but then I had to roll it up to bring it over. I have not yet put on the
So
beads.
technically, you could still iron it, but what you have to do is you have to put a terry cloth or something soft underneath it
Right.
that won't melt with the iron, and
Right.
then iron it from the back. And because it's metallic, you cannot iron
The
directly
front.
on it.
No, you can't iron the front. I did iron directly on it on
You
the
should
back.
not do that
But
either.
you have to do it on a low enough setting that it what happens is it doesn't even get out
the wrinkles.
The wrinkles.
Yeah.
So you put a little something over it, like a handkerchief or whatever, and then you can put it on
something
light
thin,
steam.
Something thin, like a handkerchief. A linen bed sheet will work, or a pillowcase. You know what? Also, sometimes ironing boards will come with like I forget what it's called, but it's a sheet, and it's a grid, and it's designed to go between the iron and whatever you're ironing, and I forget what it's called, but you could use that as well. The point is, you don't want the hot metal iron to touch your specialty threads.
It'll melt
especially the metallics. So some of the metallics are not actually metal. They're like a polyester blend, and yeah, the iron will melt them. So you need to
could be a rayon too.
Rayon, right, which is terrible for ironing. So you need to follow the directions.
But I was good. I didn't melt my threads.
No, you didn't. And you ironed it from the back just in case.
And I ironed it from the back with a towel under it and a light towel over it.
It's beautiful. It's so pretty.
Came out so nice. But I do have to put the beads on because I bought the beads. So the beads are going on. Okay. Now the funny thing is, I had a question. If you bead, the pattern always shows a blank space where the bead goes. I always put a thread behind the bead. I choose something that's either next to it or in the area around it or whatever, and I use that thread. So I don't have these little empty holes in my stitching where the beads go.
Yeah.
Because when I see an empty hole in the stitching, I'm looking at the pattern thinking that I have missed a stitch.
Yeah.
Or that I have a confetti stitch that I have to stick in there.
I do the same thing. I definitely put the bead on top of the cross stitch.
Right, but a lot of people don't.
Nope, you're not really supposed, like technically the correct way is to skip
to leave it blank?
It is, because what happens is, especially if the bead is surrounded by stitching, you're creating like it nestles in that square.
So the bead doesn't stick up as much.
It doesn't stick up as much, but you still get like the sparkle of the bead. But I'm the same way. I stitch, especially if the bead is clear and you can see through it, I definitely put a stitch
the color behind it.
I do.
Well, and the other thing is, I've seen a couple of beading videos, because it's been an age since I beaded. And you know, I've kind of learned that I might not always be doing it the right way.
Yeah, I mean the right way, right? As long as you like how it looks, that's the right way.
Well, so some people just go one thread through the bead,
yes,
and go to the next bead. And other people actually do a cross through the bead. Yep. And I saw one where they do one thread through the bead, and then the other thread goes around the bead,
yes,
and down. Yes. And they say that way the bead doesn't roll.
Right.
So if you bead, I want to know which way you do it. Give me some advice, because I always give people advice. So I need a little bit.
If you go one way, right, usually you're beading with like the equivalent of a tent stitch or a half cross stitch. You're going from one corner diagonally to the other corner of the fabric square. And if you only put the bead through that, that's fine, it looks fine. What happens is the bead will be facing diagonal. So it depends on like the shape of the bead. Some people like all their beads to be facing the same way. So that's what will happen. So if you put a bead through the second way, diagonal, it straightens the bead so it's up and down now. So now you have the hole at the top and the hole at the bottom of your stitching.
Yeah, but so that's not even what they said to do it.
So when you do it diagonal and you wrap it around, the bead pops out a little more. Yeah. It stays kind of diagonal, but it doesn't roll around. Like, yeah, it doesn't move at all. It stays right in that square.
So there's actually 3 ways to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know which way is best.
I'm lazy. So what I've been doing lately, which is not the right way, but I'm lazy and I only want to stitch it once. Like I don't want to have to, I hate finishing the cross stitch and then going back and doing the back stitch and then going back and doing the beading. So I try to do the beading and the back stitch as I go.
Well, I did all the back stitch on Mother Moon. That's finished. I just have the beads.
I will put the cross stitch is the bead. So as I'm stitching, if I come across a square that has a bead, I will stitch the bead while I'm cross stitching. So then I do the 2. I do through one way and through the other way, but as I cross stitch. So if I'm doing a whole row of half stitches and then a whole row of finishing crosses, and one of them is the bead, I'll do the row, thread the bead, and then come back and rethread the bead as I go.
Well, and the reason
I'm a bum and you're not supposed to do that.
I didn't do that is because there's a lot of beading on Mother Moon in the parts where when I move the hoop, it's going to be under a hoop.
So that's what I was going to say next. And the hoop will crush
the bead.
Yeah, if you do it that way, if you bead as you stitch, you cannot put it in a hoop or a Q-snap or anything like that because it will crush the beads. They're just glass. They're destroyed. and then you have to redo it anyways.
So there's the dilemma.
But I'm a stitch and hand stitcher, so I'm okay with that. And then, like I said, you can still wash it and iron it, but the washing with the beads is more like a soaking. You're not like scrubbing. And then the ironing, like I said, you have to put it upside down on a terry cloth or something very soft so that the beads sink into the underneath
and
fabric.
Don't melt.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Next finish.
Lecture over.
Moving on.
Yay!
This is the Pro Choice Sal by Notorious Needle on 18 count Aida white, and I finished it in July of 2020.
Yay!
And there she is.
Oh, and you did Never Again.
And I did the Never Again with the
coat
hanger because I'm old enough to remember when people did that.
Yeah.
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 That sucks.
And it's going to suck even worse again.
It is. Hey, so as we're filming this, primaries are happening.
Right, so get out and vote.
When this airs, I don't think the Florida primary will have happened yet. The Florida primary for 2022, I think, is August 23rd or something like that. So listen, even if it's too late to vote in the primary, that's okay. You can still vote in the general. So please register to vote. Go vote. It's super important. I know everyone says, "Oh, this election is the most important election ever," but here's the thing: it is important because
they all are.
Whoever controls the House and the Senate, if you vote for a Republican, you are voting against freedom
and women's rights. Just saying.
Yeah, because they have promised. Now they'll tell you they didn't, but they have promised that the next time that they have control of the House, the Senate, and the White House, they will ban abortion nationwide. So if you think abortion is healthcare, and abortion doesn't always mean ending a life or a potential life. Abortion is sometimes the pregnancy is already not viable and you need it to like clean out the uterus so that you can maybe have a pregnancy again later.
Or the zygote is located in the tube and not even in the uterus. You can't even get rid of that.
Yeah, you can't adopt an ectopic pregnancy.
And you know what? An ectopic pregnancy will kill you.
Right.
Boom.
And so that's also what abortion is needed for. It's not just, oh, it's inconvenient to have a baby, so I'm not going to have one now. That's not what it's about. It's about women who want this pregnancy. They want to have this baby, but they found out for some reason or another they can't. Either the baby won't make it or they won't make it. And even if the baby does survive and is born, it might only live a few hours in extreme pain. Like, it's humane. Abortion is humane. So anyway, please vote.
Please. So
moving on.
I have one more finish.
One more
Oh
finish.
no, actually I have more than one, but anyways.
Oh, okay.
I have another finish.
She's been busy.
No kidding. I have had some time to do this.
That's nice.
So I picked this pattern up on the freebie table at StitchCon, and I did it, and it's a wedding cake. So I changed the colors to be the colors of Josh and Melissa's wedding.
Yay.
And then I turned it into a...
They don't watch the Flosstube, they'll never see this.
I turned it into a wedding card.
It's beautiful.
And so, I make cards with my
pretty.
mom. And so this is going to be their wedding card.
Wow, that came out really pretty. You did good.
Thank you.
You did good. That's very memorable.
Yep. Well, that was my intention. and these are their colors too: wine and pink and gold.
Very
so
nice.
Everything is all, wine and pink and gold. And let's see. Okay.
Wow.
Oh wow. Yes. So other things that I got. If you watch the other Flosstubes, you will note that I got 3 patterns off the freebie table for ornaments, and here they are. This is the little Christmas tree ornament, all finished. The only thing is I didn't sign the backs of them, so I guess I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah, you should do that. They're blank.
Yeah.
This came out, was this a kit? These were a kit.
They were all a little kit.
And they were fully,
everything was
had
in
all
there.
The materials in the kit.
Yep.
Wow.
And this is the little teddy bear, and you'll notice like it's using...
Ooh, look at the opalescent.
Yeah. They all had a little bit of opalescent, and it was a pearl, a strand of pearl, and you had to blend it with a strand of something else.
Yeah,
so it was all blended.
Really nice. Was it easier to stitch blended?
Nope.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, look at that down there.
If you have to do the opalescent, you got to use a little bit of beeswax, the last 1/4 inch, and the first 1/4 inch because that stuff will just
tell
unravel.
You like what type of floss it was? Was it
nope,
Kreinik or
nope?
DMC?
It just okay. In the kit.
Just in the kit.
Yeah, so
these came out so cute.
But they came out cute, and they had the little lace to put around it. And
so what did you just hot glue
instructions? Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So and it came with the instructions. It came with the little thing in the back.
Oh, look
so
how pretty.
I mean, these kits are really cute,
these are
and
nice.
they're gonna be presents for somebody. And then I finally also finished up.
Oh, yay!
The 12 days. So I don't know if you want to show every single one of these.
Did you ever figure out what magazine these came from?
No, gosh, no. They're something from the. I figured out it's from the 70s.
Oh, jeez.
And then I finished them off in the back.
Felt. But you didn't sign these either.
Nope. And maybe I will, and maybe I won't. I don't know.
This is 3. You got 4?
There's 4. 5 golden rings. And then we got 6 geese a laying. 7 swans a swimming. 8 maids a milking. 9 ladies dancing. 10 lords a leaping. 11 pipers piping.
Oh, and some of them you backed in green.
Yep, and this one I had to back in white because I ran out of green or red. 12 drummers drumming. Yeah, I don't think it matters like what I back it in.
No,
but the white you can kind of see through, and the red and the green you can't see through.
Very nice.
So I backed it and felt.
Wow.
And
you did the whole set.
I did the whole set.
Holy cow.
So one of my lucky relatives is going to get a whole set of the of these. Yeah. And I have another set that I already stitched that I just have to finish.
Oh, wow.
So when I finish those, I won't bother bringing up.
Now, these are, what, 3-inch hoops?
Yes.
Where
those
did
are
you
3-inch hoops. I got them on Amazon. Yep, they were selling them by the dozen. I bought a dozen.
Yeah, that's how I buy them too.
I mean, it's just easier. And then I got all of them done. And that was, you know, one afternoon's work. Because I had them stitched for the longest time and just didn't finish them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I have this, I don't know, what do you call it? Like a hiccup. Like I get to a certain point and I'm done stitching and it looks great and I put it away.
Yeah.
And then finding the frame, finding the hoop, finding the way to finish it or whatever.
Some people,
it's like,
that's their favorite part is like the finish. And
well,
add,
I'd like to meet that person because I have a whole ton of projects that you can do for me.
Kathy, is it Kathy Holderman, Hands-On Design?
Really?
You should watch. She has Flosstube videos that are also tutorials about finishing. She loves the finishing process. Some of her patterns are like super tiny and they go in like this big elaborate pillow with like all these pretty matching
Kathy, send me your address and I will mail you because I swear I have 20.
No. She's a professional designer.
I have 20-something projects that are still sitting there and I have the frames because I went to the thrift store and I got the frames for them and I still haven't finished
They'll do it at Cross Stitch Cupboard at our local needle shop, our LNS. They do finishes. I don't know if they'll use your frame, but you can hire them to do finishes.
Maybe I should talk to them.
Maybe you should. I'm the same way, like the finishing. I love it finished and framed. I don't actually like the process of finishing. So I'm always looking for shortcuts.
And I'm such a picky person that, you know, the ones, especially the ones that have a border, and then you get it in the frame and you can't get the border exactly even all the way around.
You just gotta
it makes me crazy.
Tweak it. You gotta, she has actually, I will show you a tutorial. She has a tutorial for that where she laces the back and then she shows you how to like tweak it so that it's aligned exactly how you want. Yeah, she does a really good one. I'll put that link in the description below too. You have one more finish. I have a finish? Where? You're right, I forgot. Okay, we'll scooch to the side, and this is the Afghan that I was making for my granddaughter, and it is done. So I found a new, what do you call it, invisible seam to put it together with. I probably am going to need to bring it up here, aren't I? I'm going to I'll insert a video here. You'll insert, okay, I'll insert. Because I found on YouTube different ways of finishing a granny square Afghan, and this is a different type of granny square. It's not your normal one. It's a shell stitch that I found on YouTube, and I finished it in white because I figured that's a little bit younger than, you know, the basic black. Looks like your grandma made it. It is her grandma made it, but you know, but she's younger, so
and I thought they would really like it. And I did the design in a diagonal. So,
you'll see that in the video.
Yeah. But I mean, it took me quite a few months to finish. Whoops,
That's
I just kicked the thing.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
Okay, so it took me a couple of months to finish it, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
I really hope she likes
it. It's beautiful. She's going to love it. They're both going to love it.
And it took me 4 days, and it killed my back.
Oh,
to stitch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have a picture of how she had it laid out.
Laid out on the couch.
And all pinned together.
I had to lay it out on the couch to get the pattern because I wanted, like, the blue is in diagonal, the green's in diagonal, the oranges are in diagonal. So I had it all laid out and then pinned all the corners so I wouldn't lose the pattern. And then I had to seam it one row at a time and then turn it the other way and seam it again one row at a time. So when you say seam it,
it's hand stitched?
It's hand seamed, yes. With white yarn and a darning needle, and you actually go up and into and down, and I mean, it's a little bit elaborate, but it's an invisible seam. So
that's beautiful.
And it looks the same on the front and the back. All the threads are buried. I did a good job. I'm proud of myself.
It's beautiful. And my new stitching buddy Mud loves it.
Oh yeah, he was all over the thing.
He was already trying to lay on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make him his own, I think.
Yeah.
Because he obviously likes that kind of thing.
He does.
Some dogs do.
Yeah.
Some dogs don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
So yay, hooray for finishes. Good job. So plans.
Well, I told you my plans.
So you're stitching the
wedding sampler, which I'm going to hopefully start today because they get married in 5 weeks.
Okay.
I have to have it framed and in my suitcase and on the plane with me in 5 weeks.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
Well,
so
we're
I gotta
going to have to
it.
get pictures of that before you go. Because
oh, yeah.
I always forget pictures of her finishes. My plans, so I need to pick a pattern to stitch on the water-soluble canvas to stitch on my t-shirts. And let's see. Oh, I want to show you how to make the little matchbook needle books.
Oh, yep.
Super easy. Like this will be like a 1-minute video.
So that's 2 tutorials that you have planned now.
Yep. And I need to start designing again because I got some ideas. So those are my plans. Probably not a hell of a lot of stitching. Oh, and I need to finish my studio so that I can take you on a tour because this room is completely different from what it looked like when I did the tour last year. So before the end of 2022, I want to take you on a tour of the new studio and all the built-in stuff that my husband made, and you know, I got to finish all the decorating. I bought a bunch of like butterfly shit to decorate. I haven't put it on the walls yet because I sit in here and I stitch, like that's what I want to do, but I need to finish. So yeah, so those are not all of that is going to be done between now and next month, the next Flosstube, but I can at least get this matchbook tutorial, the matchbook needlebook tutorial done.
And we can get the t-shirts started.
Yeah.
But in order to do the whole thing, we have to start it, stitch it, and then finish so we can pull out all of the stuff and show you how to finish it.
Yeah.
So that tutorial is going to take a little while.
Yeah, that'll take some time, but it'll happen. It'll be fun. I think you'll like it.
And she should have some new Stitchy Stuff to show you next Flosstube because her birthday's coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yes, and I'll do a formal video, but I'm going to have a sale, a birthday sale, because it's my birthday. Oh, it's cool. Bridget's birthday. Right. And it's the Notorious Neil birthday. All coming up within like 2 weeks.
So we're all Virgos.
We're all Virgos.
Ah, aren't you lucky?
So I'll announce the sale later on, but yeah, that'll be coming too.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up.
Okay.
I don't have anything else on my list.
Me neither. So
nope.
Until next time, stitch on.